this is Mr. Bo from MrBoEnglish.com. We're running through the quadratics in a unit in Khan Academy Algebra, and we're in quadratics by taking square roots, that lesson, and we're on video number 3 for practice number 3, which is quadratics by taking square roots strategy. So we're going to be looking at some error correction and some things like that, finding the errors and some stuff. Which is an advanced skill. It's more difficult than solving. We have to solve it right, and then we have to solve it correctly, and then we have to figure out where they were wrong. So we're going to find the missing step in step 3. So today you're going to see why I've been doing all those steps lately. Okay, so let's read first. Seth solved a quadratic equation. His work is shown below with step 3 missing. What could Seth have written as the result from step 3? So we're going to solve this problem for x, and then we're going to find out what step 3 is. We're going to check step 1 if we're the same. We're going to check step 2 that we're the same, and step 3 we're going to see what we could do here. So we're going to get a little bit more difficult than we've been up to this point. Okay, so I write my inverse order of operations up here. Alright, so my first thing to do is add and subtract. Oops. Let's go back. Okay, minus 5 and minus 5. So our step 1 is going to be subtract 5 from both sides, and let's see, so what do I have left? 1/2 of x minus 1 squared is equal to 18, and over here 1/2 of x minus 1 squared equals 18. Yay, we're on the right track. Okay, number 2, let's see, divide and multiply. So here I have 1/2 times 1/2, or divide by 2, so I'm going to multiply by 2, both sides. Multiply both sides by 2, and 2 divided by 2 is 1, so I'm going to have x minus 2 squared is equal to 36. Okay, well, let's see. It happens sometimes. I'm going to find my eraser here. And yeah. Let's see, let's do this again. X minus 1 and x minus 1. Okay, so there we go. X minus 1 squared is equal to 36, so we're on the right track. Our third step, we're going to end up with the exponent here, so I'm going to take square root of both sides, and I want to remember to do positive and negative. So that step we'll call take the square root of both sides, and I'll end up with x minus 1 is equal to 36, and x minus 1 is equal to, I'm sorry, that's not 36, that's 6. Square root of positive square root of 36 is 6, and x minus, I'm having a problem today, x minus 1 is equal to negative 6. And then our step 4 will end up being add 1 to both sides. So we'll add 1. have x is equal to 7 or x is equal to negative 5. So that's our step 4 down there. What's our step 3? Our step 3 looks like x minus 1 is equal to negative 6 or x minus 1 is equal to negative 6. Let's see if we can find that. X minus 1 is equal to positive or negative 6. There we go. Alright, so our second question, we got 4 questions in this set. Cirrus solved a quadratic equation. His work is shown below. In which step did Cirrus make an error? Error means guanpi, okay, in Thai. So if we want to find the step that made the error, ข้อไหนที่เขาทำผิด Alright, so let's start. And we'll do it right, and then after we do it correctly, we can see what the mistake is. Alright, so our step 1, add and subtract. I don't really have anything to add and subtract here. Divide and multiply. Oh, I have 1/3, so I'm going to multiply by 3. So my step is multiply both sides by 3. Okay, so 3 divided by 3 is 1. I have x minus 1 squared equals 36. Let's check that step. X minus 1 squared equals 36. Alright, we're right. Okay. Step number 2, what do we do next? We're right up here in exponents, so we want to take the square root of both sides, and positive and negative. Take the square root of both sides. So here I'm left with x minus 1 is equal to square root of 36. Positive square root is 6. And negative square root is negative 6. So let's see, that's my step 2. Step 2, oh, he only got the positive one. That's where he made the mistake. And so when we finish up, we'll get x equals 7 or x equals negative 5. That looks familiar, right? So x equals 7. He only got one answer. He didn't get 2 answers. So this is a big problem if we're going to solve this. We need 2 answers. There's almost always 2 answers. So our mistake here was in step 2. All right, we have two more problems. Dave solved a quadratic equation. His work is shown below with step 1 missing. What could Dave have written as a result from step 1? So let's come up over here. 1/3 x plus 4 squared equals 48. So we need to know what our step 1 is. So our first step in inverse order of operations is S or A, subtract or add. I don't really have anything here. So we need to divide or multiply. I have times 1/3. So I'm going to do it this way. 3 divided by 3. So our step 1 that's missing should look like this. Let's go one more step. What am I going to call this to? Let's call this step multiply both sides by 3. So my step 2, we'll make sure we're going in the same place here. It's going to be exponent, so I'm going to take a square root of both sides, positive and negative square root. So I'm going to end up with x plus 4. Positive square root of 144 is 12. Negative square root is negative 12. And that looks right there. So this is our first step. Our first step is x plus 4 squared equals 144. Let's see if we can find that. There it is, right there. All right, our last problem in this set. Pam solved a quadratic equation. Her work is shown below. In which step did Pam make an error? Well, we want to find the error. Alright, so we're going to start with add and subtract. I don't really have anything there. So divide and multiply. I don't really have anything to divide or multiply. Take the square root of both sides. Positive, negative. Call step 1. Take the square root of both sides. This tablet, I have to pick up my pen a lot more than I normally do. So we're going to end up with x plus 2 is equal to positive square root of 16 is 4, and the negative square root is negative 4. Okay, so now I have two solutions. So step 1, they only have the positive again. That's the same problem as before. All right, so I hope that helps you get through the problem set. If you have any other questions, contact us online. Thank you very much. Mr. Bo English รับสอนนักเรียนตั้งแต่ป .3 ขึ้นไปทางอินเทอร์เน็ตในสไตล์ EP ครับ ผู้สนใจช่วยติดต่อครูแจงหรือไปเว็บไซต์ที่ www.mrboenglish.com